What's up, guys? Welcome to another Ask Matt live Q&A. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing super well. I'm excited. It's been a minute since I've been on a YouTube live. I think a little longer than usual. Been trying to do them every week. I think this time was probably closer to 2 weeks. Hope no one missed it too much, but we're here now. So yeah, if you guys are checking the replay as usual, feel free to skip ahead a couple minutes to get into the main questions, because I just give it a few minutes of updates as people get on in here to get the questions going. Whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It does make a difference, so I really appreciate that. Random updates as we wait, I guess. I mean, same stuff, but I'll go ahead and say I'm still trying to get, I've said this a couple times, but I'm getting more serious about Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, at Matt Loberstein, same name as here, go check it out there. Going live and doing Q&As there a couple times a week. I'm planning on getting more active in the feed. Like I'd like to do videos and quotes and stuff like that in the feed, and I'm posting stories throughout the day, every day. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I already see a question. Is this live? Yes, it is. This is live. I'm here. I'll get to the questions in just a second. I'm just doing updates as people get on in here. I'll go ahead and mention the course as well. If you don't know, I do have a course. It's called Zero to Brand. It's always the top link in the description. It is everything guided by me, A to Z, from knowing absolutely zero, everything you need to get going, up and selling and rolling on Amazon, plus traction, running that business day to day for the coming years and scaling it as well. Not just like, here you go and then see ya, but like, how do you keep this going and build it up into a real brand? So that's all in the course. It's great. People are really happy with it. Starting to see a lot of results and everything like that. You can always ask in the Facebook group, the free one, if you want to hear from people that are in it. Already getting distracted by the questions. What was I saying? Yeah, so check that out if that's interesting to you. It's definitely the best one out there, so there's always that. Anyways, how many people are in here? I'll probably just get started with the questions. But yeah, if you're just now joining, make sure you hit that thumbs up. It makes a big difference. And if you're watching the replay, no matter where you are, make sure you hit it. I'm trying to pull up the info we've got going. All right. Feel free to start plowing me with questions. I don't know if plowing me is the best choice of words. What do you think of Instagram, YouTube influencers to boost sales? Absolutely. Influencers is a massive, I wouldn't say untapped, but underutilized area in all of business, whether we're talking Amazon or beyond. Having people talk about your product, whether it's people talking about my YouTube channel as a product or your physical product as a product or anything. I mean, that's the best type of advertising is word of mouth, and influencers are kind of a way to hack word of mouth. So for me, that usually would mean smaller influencers, not necessarily going for the big ones. That's an area that I don't have personal experience with, going for the 100K, million followers type of thing. But a lot of times smaller influencers actually have a deeper audience, and they can be cheaper and more thrilled to get a free product or something like that. So yeah, definitely a amazing place to look. Matthew Caldwell says brand to zero. Yeah, if you guys didn't see the last vlog, Jade Dharmawangsa, she accidentally called my course, which is called Zero to Brand. She called it Brand to Zero. So now it's like a joke. I was like, I will take your brand and drive it to zero for a one-time fee. It's pretty funny. Brock says, are you going to Brand Builder in Texas? I'm not sure yet. I should really think about it. I'm really bad at planning things, but yeah, I'd like to go. I might be in Austin soon. We haven't planned that, but I don't know. But I don't know. I haven't committed, but yeah, that'd be super cool. I'm a big fan of Ryan, and I need to get him onto my not yet existing podcast. He already had committed to being episode number 1, and then it didn't work out. So, Ryan, I'm coming for you if you're watching. Let me see. Oh, shit. Oops.
Go ahead.
Fucking Siri. No, I'm not talking to you, Siri. I'm trying to look at the chat. Your language? Fucking Siri. God Where was I? What's the number one marketing channel you would use to build a brand aside from Amazon PPC? So you kind of touched on part of it, is that I would say to focus within Amazon at first. Like, this Amazon opportunity is a real thing, and there's a lot of eyeballs within Amazon. So while everything I say about building a brand and off of Amazon is highly valuable, I feel like some of you might be taking that and running too far the other direction, and then you're missing out on this leverage that we have with Amazon. So you kind of answered that, but just for everybody, focus on taking that leverage within Amazon first, or simultaneously, but don't slack on what's available to us with Amazon. But then as far as off Amazon, I think if we're talking in terms of actual, it depends what your goal is. Is your goal brand awareness, or is your goal driving actual sales? I think the best way to drive sales is still Facebook ads. I don't know of a better platform than that. I mean, influencers, that's possible too. Instagram is great to build a community, especially if you have like a product that lends itself to be more photogenic, lifestyle, stuff like that. But if it, but Facebook ads are just, you can be so hyper targeted, and there's so much data. Yes, there's the same data for Instagram, but Instagram is just still more, obviously it's mobile, and it's just less it's less conversion based, at least in my experience. That, not saying it can't work, it definitely can, and I've ran those ads as well. But Facebook directly, still for more like sales driven stuff, I would probably just still focus on Facebook ads. Can you talk about Prime Day, please, and the good and the bad? Really no bad as far as Prime Day. It's just a additional, heightened traffic, heightened buyer intent, because people think they're getting a great deal on everything. Even if you don't have a deal running, there's usually higher conversion just across the board on this. By the way, this advice, same would apply to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, even like Christmas, really. There's just higher buyer intent at those times. So there's more traffic, and it's converting at a higher rate. So there's really no bad when it comes to Prime Day, at least that I can think of off the bat. It's just an opportunity to milk some extra sales. I personally have a few deals that are scheduled for Prime Day, actual Prime Day deals. It's too late if you're watching this now and you don't have those scheduled. You have to have sales history, things like that. But maybe for next year, or for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you have to ask for a slot way out in advance, and you pay a lot of money too, but it should be worth it because you're getting such heightened traffic. So I think I have 2 or 3 deals running on Prime Day itself, and then a few others in Prime Day week. There's a good tip for you, actually, is Amazon will charge now. They only started doing this past Black Friday, is now they'll charge you extra for a lightning deal that is just on the week of those days. So meaning it's outside the day. Like, for example, Black Friday week, or Cyber Monday week, or Prime Day week. And in my experience so far, those slots are basically like, I wouldn't say a scam, but like, it's not good. Like, you're basically going to be, Amazon's trying to make it seem like, oh, we're making it this big Prime Day week thing, or Cyber Monday week. But the reality seems to be that it's still just the day. Like, for example, if you have a deal running on Tuesday or Wednesday after Cyber Monday, it's going to be a normal freaking day. So you're paying more for a lightning deal. It's not going to be that great. It might still be a little above average, but I find that those are like, and they haven't been doing it that long either. But in many cases, I might still test it, but sometimes I'll be canceling those because it doesn't seem to even be worth it if it's just like a regular day and you're paying 2 or 3 times more for your lightning deals. For FBA, which shipping template do you recommend? When I create my listing, it says migrated template. I mean, you shouldn't have to be messing with that stuff. I mean, I know that it shows something like that, but that's not something I actively pay attention to. When you're creating the shipping plan, you're just going to use case packed. I feel like I know I've seen that migrated template thing, but I can't even remember because it's not something I mess with or have to pay attention to. So you don't have to deal with any templates, any things like that. You're just going to choose basically case packed or individual packed. Go with case packed if you're doing private label, of course, because that's going to mean every box is the same. For example, every box is this size, has 50 units in it, and weighs this much, and I have 10 of these identical cases. Hopefully that answers your question. Brand to zero, good meme. Watching you from Spain. Thanks for the content. That's cool. That's cool. I need to go to Spain someday. What is your highest price point product and what categories? I'm in a bunch of categories. So far, I'm in really just open categories. I'm not in gated categories myself, but that is somewhere I'm looking as I personally expand into some new brands and products. Sorry, I got distracted. Is that getting louder? Can you fix that? Sorry. Highest price point? In the 40 something range, but I'm very not opposed to higher price points, and that's an area I'm looking to expand as well. I would love to sell products that were 100, 200 bucks. Nothing wrong with that. It just costs more, it just ties up more of your capital. My first product launched last week, but I have 0 sales. Well, I would need to know more of what you're doing, but if you just listed your product and you have 0 sales, then that's exactly what I would expect. You need to be doing something to actively get those sales. Are you running advertising? Are you, promoting in some way? Are you getting people to find you in some way? If you're not, then you shouldn't get any sales. Now, if you're getting traffic and you have no sales, which you can check by going into your analytics, seeing your traffic, seeing your conversion rate, then you might have a really severe conversion rate problem. For example, if you've gotten, 200 visitors to your listing and 0 sales, well, then you have a conversion problem. How many ASINs? If you're including ASINs means you're including variations, so probably like 50 or 60. Hey Matt, what's your opinion of going into a product that sellers have different designs but the same base product? Example, school kids folders, but every seller has a different design on cover. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. That's just a way for you to differentiate and to stand out and to figure out what people really want and to do more of that. So nothing wrong with that. I mean, if anything, it's a way to, it opens you up to standing out in your market because not everything is the same. Let's see. Guys, hit the thumbs up. I hate asking for it, but it really helps. Looking for questions. Looking for some good ones that I can rant on. Wait, Prime Day, I already answered that. How behind am I? Matt, greetings from Argentina. Do you recommend reverse ASIN webs to look for keywords and improve listings? Which one? I use Cerebro and Helium 10. If you want to get Helium 10, there's a link. It is an affiliate link. I only recommend the ones that I use. But I like Helium 10 because it has like 15 tools in there. And so, yeah, it's a little more expensive, but like I'm not somebody that loves digging into every possible tool and getting sold on this other tool that I absolutely need. So I don't use that many tools. I like Helium 10 because there's just a bunch in there. So there's Cerebro in there, which I do use. It's basically, well, not the only one, but it's probably the keyword-based tool that I use the most personally. I think Jungle Scout even added one into their web app now, which is probably pulling the same data. I haven't cross-compared yet, and that's just because, like, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, as far as if it's worthwhile, I think that it's a good way to find some other keywords. Now, it's not the only way, and you should still be running your search term reports, things like that, but it's a good way to get it started and to start testing more keywords. Let me see. What the fuck, Siri? Why is my Siri like freaking out? That's hilarious. All right, I'm scrolling to a little newer. If I missed your question, feel free to ask again. I just like to keep everyone current because it's then everyone feels like I'm actually here and I'm not like, oh, are you live? So I'm actually selling with my name. I want to change for LLC and bank account. Is that an easy process with Amazon? Anything I need to know about it? It is easy. Here's the only tip though, is do it once the LLC is fully filed and formed and legally there with the address filed and you've got everything ready to go. Because when you go in and change it all, I recommend just doing it once. Just one big hit, change your like your business information, your address, all of that, just one save and you're done. You don't want to be like going in and tweaking it all the time because then it could raise a red flag to like fraudulent behavior type of thing. My problem is I'm selling in Canada and it's super slow. I'm ranked first page within top 5 with 0 sales. Should I still pay for PPC? I mean, I would always still try it. It sounds like you might just be in a very low volume product, honestly. If you're on page 1 and within the top 5 for what you consider to be the major keyword and you still haven't gotten a single sale, like how are the other ones selling? What's the revenue on them? Happy Friday, Matt. Thanks for all you do. You are appreciated. I appreciate that I am appreciated. Thanks. Steven, talk about bad things getting Facebook review groups and getting your account suspended. Yeah, I might have missed that part, but if you're using Facebook review groups in 2018, like you are literally following Amazon FBA content from 2015. So like, I can't even believe that that's still a discussion that we're talking about like Facebook review groups. Like, can we please just like remove that from the Amazon discussion at this point? Maybe a few more years and people will forget about it. Recommendations for logo design, Upwork, maybe Fiverr. I don't really use that. I personally have a designer myself at this point. You guys all know Francis. So that's where I personally go. But if I didn't have that, I'd probably try Upwork. How many SKUs do you have? I answered that. Which tool is better, Viral Launch or AmazeOwl? For that use, I've only used Jungle Scout. I already have it. They've been around. I like it. I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm not a tools junkie. It does what I need it to do. It's enough for me. It works for me. Are the other ones fine? Probably. Am I gonna be bothered to go, am I gonna go take a week of my life and go like compare? I don't care. Like they're all fine. Like I like Jungle. I'm just comfortable with what I've been using for a long time and they've been around. I mean, those other ones weren't around nearly as long, and same way I feel about the email services. I'm using the oldest one because I don't know, it works. If you're super, super, super concerned with the tools, like I feel like your focus is probably in the wrong place if you're like really, really, really overthinking the tools. What are your views on voice? Gary Vee swears by it. I'm just wondering your point on this. Thanks, bro. I think that's an interesting question. It's something that I've wondered what I really even think about it. I do think he's early in terms of like, like all the Alexa, Google Home. Like personally, I'm not using any of them myself. So, but I think it's happening for sure. He's right about that, and I think it is gonna be powerful. I'm not an expert to really talk about this. I think podcasts are huge. I plan on starting my own podcast. I've listened to podcasts for years. Personally, podcasts have been the most influential thing on me, even above YouTube, like me as a consumer, I mean. Like I love watching YouTube, but podcasts have really gotten in my head the most, I would say. So that's audio. But I think when he says audio, he's not only including podcasts, but he's also including like voice activated everything, which sure, I mean, that could be coming, but I don't have that many thoughts on it yet, personally, I guess. For FBA, how do I set up the shipping plan so customers who buy my product have free 2-day shipping if they have Prime? If you're FBA, you will be Prime. That's basically synonymous. Like if you're being shipped by Amazon FBA, it will be Prime eligible. So interviewing tips for VAs. I really just have sent a variety of questions that I feel are relevant. I might not have the most this is me in general. I'm not the most organized. Like, so I don't have like an exact system for it, but it's more just like, me trying to test and look through portfolios and having a conversation. Communication is always big for me. A good tip would be having them do a little piece of test work. For example, if it's design, obviously have them do something, have them meet a deadline as a test. Pay them for this, by the way. Pay them to do a small thing and meet a deadline as a test. I personally like to look for people that are willing to learn. So for me, that's big. I literally, when I was first interviewing Francis, my guy that most of you know who does like everything for me basically, I remember one of the main conversations we had, I was asking him, are you willing to tell me when you think I'm wrong or when you have a better idea than what I'm telling you to do? Because I wanted somebody that would be like I would ask them something and they'd be like, well, that's not even the right way to do it. Because I don't want somebody to just be like my slave that I'm just like, do this. I want somebody to be like, well, like, you know, to question me a little bit. So I literally asked that. I asked if they were willing to learn because, for example, Francis wasn't even a video editor. He was doing he was graphic and photo and stuff like that, but not really video too much. But one of the questions was like, are you willing to like learn? Like, do you want to learn? Like, do you want to like get paid to watch tutorials and learn how to expand your skill set? To me, those types of skills are just what makes a good person and employee and coworker in general. Let's see. Do you recommend any services to pay your suppliers apart from Alibaba Trade Assurance? I would say now that Trade Assurance is available to us, it really is the most logical platform for you to at least start with. So I would really say Trade Assurance is number one. So not really. I would just stick to that at this point. We didn't have that until, it's probably been around for like a year and a half at this point, I would guess. The brand is zero joke. Yeah, dude, I think it's hilarious. But you're saying I see so much success with my brand, I may need to purchase your brand to zero course. Yeah, I'll take your brand and I'll bring it back to zero. Nah, dude, I should like literally make like a whole video like meme joke about that, or like an ad, run it for like April Fools or something. Except April's a long time from now. Any product inspection companies you recommend in China? Asia Inspection, it's not the cheapest. That's the one I've personally used. I'm interested to try some other ones though, but I've just had fine experiences with them. What's your favorite FBA podcast? I don't listen to FBA podcasts. But like, you know, if you're a beginner, I remember like probably The Amazing Sellers. I don't know what he's really doing nowadays, but you could check that out. You could check out AM PM. I just personally feel like I have what I need at this point, so I don't listen to FBA podcasts at this point. I love, this goes a little broader, but Freedom Fastlane, that's Ryan Moran's podcast. There's like an FBA aspect to it, but it's really like, you know, it's more general than that at this point. So that one's still great and sometimes sort of ties in. So I would highly recommend his podcast. Just let him know that I sent you. Let me see. How many hours a day do you spend on Amazon FBA and or your brands? Very little in the past 15 months, honestly. Like I've been saying this lately, is like I reached a point where seeds that I planted 3-4 years ago got to this flourishing point that I could take my foot off the gas and just enjoy it. So I've put very little work into it in the last year or so. That, you know, like I feel I did I got what I wanted out of it, which was to create the cash flow that I needed to fund the life that I wanted. And then I've always seen FBA and Amazon as a stepping stone. So now I feel like I'm starting to branch into what's my next business, what's the next phase of me as a career and me as my life. And it's not just me being an FBA seller. So, you know, I've got what I needed there, and now I can leverage those cash flows into my life and the new businesses that I want to build as well. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to work on those existing brands. And I am going to launch new brands that still leverage Amazon, but they're like going to be not just Amazon brands from the beginning. So I'm still very, very involved. It's just shifting. I'm at a point now where I've been in it long enough that it's like, it's just taking a different form now, if that makes sense. You mentioned you don't believe in giveaways anymore. What is your tactic for sales velocity to get to page 1? Well, sales velocity is different from giveaways. So sales velocity still works. I don't like using giveaway sites where your product is going to be bought with a silicone spatula and Garcinia cambogia and, you know, silicone baking mats and gloves, because everyone on the site is buying all that shit and they're all taking the same freaking coupons and they're all conditioned to leave reviews, and it's clearly red flagged by Amazon. So that is what I'm against. What I'm not against is marketing that drives sales velocity, that leads to ranking, that leads to more sales velocity. So two different things. What camera do you use for the live YouTube videos? You can see all my gear. It's linked in the description. It's kit.com/Matt Loberstein. You can see all the gear. But it's the same. It's the Sony a7S II for YouTube and for these lives. Though I'm thinking about actually just getting like a Canon G7X for more vlog stuff, because this is so inconvenient for me to like take anywhere. Like I never want to like lug this thing around, but like a little G7X is like, it's basically like your phone. I mean, it's so much more. I feel like I'd be much more inclined to just like shoot a quick little video on the G7X than on this. So I've been thinking about that. Matt, love all that you do. Regarding brand registration on Amazon, what are the benefits and what is Amazon Marketing Services? Okay, those are unrelated, so I'll answer it as two parts. Brand registry, if you guys don't know, is something that when you have a brand, you can register into Brand Registry. It's a program that Amazon provides, and that gives you more protections around your brand name to some extent, and a few extra features like the photos in the description. That's called EBC, Enhanced Brand Content. All of that is possible to you if your brand is brand registered. The issue is you need to have a registered trademark to even be able to apply to that, which takes a solid like 9 months and has some cost associated with it. So don't worry about that right away, but it's worth doing once you're at that stage that you want to protect your brand. That said, like, it's not a magic bullet. Like you can still deal with hijackers. Like to me, like that aspect of it is not that great, surprisingly. Like I've still had issues with hijackers on brand registered products. It's just like, to me, it's like not that big of a deal. But not that you shouldn't do it, just that it's like, it's not like you're going to be like, oh, my business sucked and then I got brand registry and now I'm rich. Like brand registry is not going to be the thing that really impacts your business. It's just not. Like, but it's still something worth doing if you have a brand worth protecting. It's like something you should do, but it's not going to be the thing that makes or breaks you by any means. Oh, and Amazon Marketing Services, that is, well, this has changed a little bit, but I'll give you the background, which is like, you know how you've seen the banner ads on Amazon, or if you're on a product page, there's the ad like right under the price, not PPC, not your sponsored products, but those other ads. Traditionally, that was AMS. Now you can actually do the headline ads if you're brand registered, and you can just do that on the sponsored products platform. But AMS, Amazon Marketing Services, is what allows you to do headline ads and like those other box ads and like sidebar ads and stuff like that. So it's kind of another ad platform. Getting approved to it is always changing. So when I did it might be different than how it is. You know, it's one of those things that Amazon, like, they don't even know what they're doing with it. Like, I mean, nobody even knows the right way to get in, to not get in. Like, it used to be like you'd sign up to Vendor Express and then you'd sign up to AMS, but I think Vendor Express doesn't even exist now. So, yeah, I mean, you can try just applying and seeing what happens. I haven't heard, like, literally, I would never put out a statement saying, here's how you sign up to AMS, because it's one of those things that seems to change every single month. So best thing you can do is probably try to find somebody that just recently did it. Asking in the Facebook groups, things like that would probably be really helpful. Reminds me, Facebook group. If you're not in it, link in the description. It's free. It's super active. It's got like 4,200 members. You can ask any question. I'll answer, or the benefit is other people will answer. If I answer, other people will see it. It's win-win. It's a lot better because it helps more people than just sending me a private message, because this way it benefits more people. So check out the Facebook group. It's a really, really, really active community. So you should get in there if you're not. There's literally no reason not to. How do you position yourself in regards to taxes to get the best tax breaks? Well, that's probably something I could. Do a little bit better. As I sort of grow as an entrepreneur, I'd really like to figure out how to take more legal tax loopholes. That said, I get taxed as an S corporation, which is probably what I would recommend. If you are less than 100K in profit, just stay as an LLC. But if you are making some solid money over 6 figures, then you should be a LLC taxed as S corp. That's going to be in my opinion, I'm not an expert at this stuff, so talk to an expert, but meaning like your CPA or lawyer or whatever. But like, to me, LLC taxed as S Corp is like the lowest friction way to also get a lot of the benefits. So it's less complicated than having an actual S Corp, but you still get the benefits of it. So yeah, that's what I would say. Steven, have you heard about Andy Frisella's new group, Arete Syndicate? You should check it out. Yeah, I heard a little about it. I don't know. I'm curious what you have to say about it. I probably wasn't going to like do it or anything. I'm actually really curious. I was thinking about asking this, but then I don't want to open any like negative stuff. But like, you guys watching the replay, like, do you guys like Andy Frisella? I'm just really curious. I'm just really curious about that. I'm always curious about all these different like even Gary Vee or Tim Ferriss or Ty Lopez. Like, I'm just so curious about like what everyone thinks about each of them. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. It sounds interesting, but I don't know. From what I've seen, he hasn't really said. You have to like go down their whole funnel just to even find out what it is. I don't know. Let me know. Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. Hardly catch you live. What's up? I'm live. What do you think about selling in Australia? Their Amazon site is still new. Lots of listings, have little to no ratings. Plant some seeds there, you think? Yeah, I mean, it's probably worth it. I haven't done it, but especially if you're like living in Australia, it's probably like very low barrier for you to just try it. That said, it's probably really low traffic now. So, you know, it's kind of the same as like playing with, say, the Canada market or things like that. Might be worth doing, but I'm not seeing it as like a huge focus. And like, I haven't heard of anybody like killing it on Australia yet, at least. But yeah, I'm probably not first to jump on that. Matt, are you a member of the Illuminati Mastermind? That's an Amazon mastermind, not the actual Illuminati, by the way. No, I'm not. But the other one, you said giveaways are a red flag with Amazon. Can you explain more? Always under the impression this follows the terms of service. Brock, what's your nope referring to? Was that the Andy question? Where was I? Oh, red flag giveaways. It's such a weird thing now, but look, to me, in my perspective, Amazon has made it clear time and time again what they do want and what they don't want. And every time they retweak what they don't want, everyone just finds the one little thread of loophole to figure out how we can sort of be within terms of service with still not doing what Amazon actually wants. So look, it's very clear. They don't want you manipulating anything, right? Like, that's just what it is. Like, don't be manipulative and you'll be good. Giveaways are fine, but you can't be doing it in exchange for a review. And for me, I would not be doing it through these sites that have the same pool of buyers claiming the giveaways, because then those are people that are ex-reviewers, meaning those sites, for the most part, used to be review sites. Now they're giveaway sites, right? So now we're within the rules, guys. Don't worry, we've always been within the rules. We don't want to go out of business with our giveaway service here. So I think I haven't touched those things since years ago, like literally probably 2.5 years ago at this point, for my business to actually touch a like giveaway service. And that was when it was completely allowed. I think those times are so freaking gone. That said, like I feel like when I say that, so many people are clearly misunderstanding me. That does not mean you can't do coupons. That does not mean you can't do marketing and promotions. I'm just saying, don't use the same freaking pool of buyers from these giveaway sites. Do it yourself. Make your own list. Get your own audience. Partner with an influencer to do a giveaway. Partner with like a blog or an email list, or build your own audience and do marketing and give them a deep discount. That stuff's all completely cool. I do that. I don't do the giveaway services. I don't do the freaking mommy blogger reviewers that buy 800 spatulas and then sell them all on eBay and leave 5 stars on every single one. That is so far gone at this point. So don't do that. No offense to mommies who get free spatulas. Is Instagram and Facebook good for outside advertising or PPC? Yes, but then the last part of that question, you triggered something. It's not or PPC. It should never be or PPC. To me, you should always be doing PPC, no matter what. Like, even if you're like whatever else you're doing, you're still going to be doing PPC. So it's never going to be or PPC. It's like, what else can I do? It's not or. But yes, those are great forms of traffic. Yeah, Andy Frisella is the guy. He gets straight to the point, no BS. His podcasts have more practical content versus strategies, but it works for me. Yup. Brock says, yup, don't lie, Frisella. Don't like Frisella. I don't get a good vibe from him. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say anything negative, but like, here's my thoughts on Andy Frisella. I guess I'll get into it. What the hell? I think he's great. Like, I've gotten value out of him. I think that he has a lot of practical stuff. For sure. Like, I would say he puts out more practical content than like Gary Vee, for example. Like, he really does. And there have been podcasts of his that have like fired me up like crazy. That said, I think that the energy that sounds super like fucking, that's not what I mean. But like the vibe he puts out, vibe sounds the same as energy. The vibe he puts out is super negative. It just is. Like, he's just fighting. Like, he makes life a war, and I just hate that. Like, I think it just really irks me, and I'm guessing, Brock, you probably agree, and that's probably why you feel that way. But like, he's just like, I think he's just still trying to compensate for some childhood thing, which everyone's dealing with their own shit. But to me, that's the vibe I get from him, is that he's just trying to prove something all the time, and he's just very fiery and angry, and he's just like, and I think that works and that fires people up, but like, that's just not the mentality. Like, spreading that mentality does not do good, in my opinion. Like, sure, he might fire someone else up, but like, he's not making people happier. I mean, and maybe he is, and that's great. I still appreciate everything he does. I just don't like that negativity. And he even says that he gets fired up from negativity. Like, he says that it's the negative that drives him, and that's his own shit. So that's real. Like, I'm not saying he should be inauthentic. That's just who he is, and that's cool. But for me, like, I just prefer a place of like positivity and just trying to be more tranquil and enjoying life, and, you know, adding good things rather than like fighting bad things. I feel like that's a good way of putting it. So yeah, that said, I mean, I've only felt that way more recently. I like Frisella. I just think his overall vibe is like I swear, if you like had your heart rate monitor going when you were listening to him, like your freaking cortisol would be spiking. Like, it's just like it's a negative. It's like a really, it's intense, and I prefer an additive positive over a fighting of the negative. And yeah, that vibe, I'm just over it for me personally. That's probably what a lot of people need at some level, and that works great. But for me, I'm in a place where I'm on the other end of the spectrum now. So that's my thoughts. Brock says, that's exactly my thoughts on him. Yeah. And I really don't mean that in any like negative way. Like, he is who he is, and I think he helps a ton of people. He's really impactful. He really is. It's just like not my personal vibe and style at this point. Stephen Black recommends Tyler McBroom. I'll try to remember that. Tax guy with daily tips. Sounds interesting. Yeah, just look at the recent review sweep, and that's enough to incentivize to follow TOS. Yeah, a bunch of people are getting their reviews wiped out. There's all kinds of problems. This stuff has been going on for years, guys. Like, just do it the right way, and you'll be good. Like, do you want to not sleep at night because you're worried about Amazon banning you every morning? Like, it's not fun. It's not fun, guys. Like, don't play that game. How much do you usually spend on Amazon PPC until you start getting organic sales on a new product? So I'm worried in what you said that you're thinking you're gonna run PPC until you're getting organic sales, and then you're gonna go turn off PPC and just, you know, ride into the sunset with your organic sales. That is wrong. You should always continue it. So don't think about it in that way. I'm just checking you just in case you're thinking about it that way. That said, you should, you know, I don't know. I don't even know how to put a timeline on it, but usually you'll start getting some organic sales. Like, you know, once you just start proliferating that Amazon web a little bit, maybe within a few days to a week or a couple. I mean, I don't know how to put an exact, because to me, it's just I I'm looking at my PPC spend, and I'm looking at my overall sales when I launch a new product. I'm like, that's really the answer. Probably gonna wrap this up in just a minute because I think this battery is probably about to die. I didn't charge it all the way. I just bought a continuous thing, so for when I get the podcast going or for these, I'm gonna have the camera just plugged in, so I'll be able to do it continuous. But anyone here live, I will hop into the chat right after, or the Facebook group, ask questions, all that. Elliot says, Andy Frisella, mindset, Gary V, more strategies. I agree. I think Andy is good for mindset. Like, he's definitely been good for my mindset, but I think you have to be careful of the negativity. You really do. Like, yeah. Elliot, I get what you're saying. Sometimes you need that negative energy to get you pumped up, though. I agree. I think he's just mad at the new generation of snowflakes that think everything should be handed to them. I agree. I agree. It's just like the way he does it is not the way to reach people. It's like if you want people to do something, you don't fucking yell at them. I don't know. It's just like, to me, that's acting like a baby. Let's find a couple more good questions and then we'll wrap it up. A lot of stuff I've seen before. You are a good guy, by the way, Matt. I appreciate it. No reviews, PPC launch. What do you think? Yes, PPC, no reviews. I know a lot of people will tell you otherwise. I feel strongly of that. What are your thoughts on Tesla? I think the new Roadster is wicked. Yeah, I'm a fan of Tesla. As much as I'm into exotics, you know, and the other end of the spectrum, I would totally have a Tesla as just like a practical daily. I would be totally down for it. I've always been thinking that like when they come out with something that's like more small SUV, I think that'll look really cool. To me, the Model X still has a few angles that are kind of bulgy and ugly. And the S, it's been around a while at this point. Like I'm down for like a small X. I think that'd be super cool. Just came in. I'll have to watch the replay because it sounds like there's crazy stuff going on. Yeah, definitely. The replays are always up on the channel afterwards. By the way, your bonsai is getting bigger. Yeah. Where is it, dude? Where is it? You didn't come to that meetup. I thought you were coming a few weeks ago. Never heard about Frisella until just now, LOL. Yeah, he's good. I mean, I hope I didn't make it sound too bad. That's just been my thoughts lately is like, I'm kind of over it. Or at least when I do listen to him, I'm like very careful to like not take in that negativity. Cause like, it's just, I don't even know how to word it, but it's just like not good. Same for, even Grant Cardone has a lot of that. Like, I'm curious what you guys think about Grant Cardone. Last little rabbit hole. I'll wait for the comments and then we'll wrap up with like one more question. I think the problem with Facebook review groups is it's probably a lot of people searching for products to sell there too. Sure, but the problem is that it's blatantly against Amazon terms of service as of like 2 years ago. So not even close. Are you going to the Amazon? Brock. Wait, sorry, I was reading two things at once. Are you going to the Amazon conference in New Orleans? Nah, no plans. Since I'm an IG influencer myself, it is a good idea to launch with PPC and Instagram simultaneously. Yes. I'm just going to knock out quick ones. Do you still suggest using Jungle Scouts type tools to find new products? There are now thousands of people doing the same thing. Yes, but be particular. Putting in criteria and expecting it to spit it out is the wrong method. That's so not going to work. You are correct. You're going to be finding the same things as everybody else. Don't do that. But you can still use them very carefully. Brock, in response to Grant Cardone says, no, he is a Scientologist. That's hilarious. Only FBA channels. Yeah, cool. Grant is a con man. I think he's great, but I'd rather watch Alex Becker. Grant Cardone equals Scientologist. I'm 43 and I've owned 39 cars. Now I'm sticking with the Toyota Prius. Nice. Had an exotic. What did you have? Grant Cardone tries to get you in his funnel, honestly. Yeah, he sells a lot. He sells hard, but I watch him for the watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying. He's a hardcore seller, so you got to be aware of that, but I'm considering unfollowing as well. I mean, here's a great tip for everyone. I would love for you to implement this across your life. Unfollow people. Like, go unfollow freaking 50% of the people you follow. Like, I swear to God, if you're following more than a couple hundred people on, like, say Instagram, like, you can you need to check your shit because your feed is full of bullshit. Like, I swear, I literally, even like if your feed is just being filled up with negative crap that, or just something that doesn't serve you, like just get rid of that shit. So if you literally go unfollow half the people after this right now, I swear. Yeah, don't unfollow. I mean, if you feel I am that useless that I'm one of the people you should unfollow, I mean, by all means. But like, I think that I don't think I'm sure you can find far less valuable. So seriously, just like Google the low information diet and apply that to like your Instagram, apply that to all your shit. Like just wasting time on bullshit. Like, oh my God. That was a rant, but I guess I've held that in a while. Let's see. Yeah, no, I know Grant Cardone is actually a Scientologist. I've heard that. I mean, I don't know what to make of that, but I mean, whatever he wants. It's probably just for some crazy tax loophole. I wouldn't be surprised. He's sales oriented. That's his industry. Unfollow Matt Loberstein. Check. Gary Vee is still number one to me. Strategies, practicality, positivity. When writing, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for that one. Sorry. Any more Amazon questions, go to the Facebook group or catch the next one. I'm just going to have fun for a couple minutes. My camera might die any second, and I'll probably wrap this up in a minute, but I'm just enjoying it. So I'll just have this extra few minutes of just hanging out. My first car when I was 16 was a Porsche 911 Turbo. Damn. That was my dream when I was 16. I wanted a 997 Turbo. That's really cool. Who you endorse and sell to your followers reflects on you as a person. I completely agree, especially me as like a person of some amount of influence at this point. Like where, like I think about that a lot. Like you will never, like, I mean, not that I have a big following in the grand scheme of things, but like the amount of people at my level that would like just cross promote with other people just to like freaking exchange followers, even though that person is shady as fuck, like that is insane to me. Like you're literally damaging your reputation for the rest of your life. So you'll never see me doing any of that shit. I agree. That stuff's insane to me. Like people, I'm about to fire some shots. Like I feel like a lot of people doing this whole thing are not actually building personal brands. They're just building followings and they're just marketers, which is fine. But I'm trying to build an actual long-term, like sustainable influence, if you will. Like my goal with YouTube in the beginning was to be like a micro Tim Ferriss someday in the future. Like that's my thoughts. And you don't get there by freaking just over marketing and spamming and cross promoting. Hey guys, like this guy, you should follow him. If you do that organically, that's cool. I'll do that with people I organically meet. Like Jade, for example. She's cool. She's awesome. I was on her podcast. We met up. Like that's cool. But I'm never just going to be like, oh, like let me shout out this other person. I don't know. Stuff's crazy. All of you guys asking me what I think of very, very specific people. No comment. Nice hair part? Yeah, thanks. I agree with you. I turned down 75% of people. Yeah, I've had emails just like, hey, like, I'll be on your channel, you be on my channel. I'm just like, so you want me to give you followers and I get basically nothing out of it except being on your channel that is just getting started. Like, I'm never going to have somebody on my channel just to cross promote. Like, that shit's insane to me. That not saying I won't have people on my channel, just never like a forced exchange. That shit's retarded. You guys know Watch Me Amazon is a stock scammer. What? I don't know about that. As far as I know, Larry's really cool. I'm a fan. But, I mean, who knows what people used to do. LMAO, love your rants. I'm glad, guys. You guys keep it authentic. I appreciate it. You are different. We know that. We love you for that. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the last little just random rants. It's hot in here. I'm like sweating. The sun's coming through. Yeah, what do I have to say? Check out all the links. There's links to everything you might need. Get in the Facebook group. Check out the course if you're interested. It's there. you know, the camera stuff, all those questions. It's all really in the description, so go check it out. I'll stick around in the chat for just a second for those of you in here live, and I appreciate everyone that watches my channel. If you somehow watched this far and you're not subscribed, subscribe. I think it's this way. Or with the live, I don't even know. It's down here somewhere. Make sure you subscribe. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the bell. That's how you'll know when I do these, and you can come in and get your questions answered. And yeah, I just appreciate all of you so much. I'm just so glad that we've built this community together, and that, like, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope that you got a lot of value out of it, and I hope I can continue showing you my journey, teaching you what I've, you know, the small amount of stuff that I've become an expert along the way at, if you will. And as I just continue, and yeah, I just appreciate it. So that's that. But thank you guys, and I'll see you next video.